Hello, virtual world lovers. Welcome to Second Life by Loff. Today we're going to talk about everything that is generally most important to know about the sex world in Second Life. Ways, types, how it happens, resources, yes and no's, limitations and possibilities, okay? It's a very honest and straightforward conversation, no taboos, no shy stuff. It's a very objective thing, very rational video. And I hope I'm helping you to understand the sex part of Second Life. So here we go. First of all, many people think sex and Second Life must go together. When you get into Second Life and try Second Life, you gotta face or engage or somehow deal with sex. And I can tell you that's the most stupid idea I ever heard about Second Life. You will find thousands and thousands and thousands of people that do the most diverse things. They build, they buy, they sell, they go to concerts, they socialize, they go to fantasy worlds, they role play, and sex is just 0% for years and years, 0% of their Second Life experience. They don't even touch the subject and the places and the people and sex in general. So it's a very wrong idea. You have many YouTubers that they do videos about Second Life and they just tried it once for a week, for one day, even for 1 month, and no YouTuber that stays in Second Life 1 month knows shit about Second Life, okay? Unless they talk a lot with people that are really experienced in Second Life and they can shed some light on their stupid heads. So when you see a video like Second Life is only sex, Second Life is just adult stuff, I hate Second Life, that's completely stupid, man. Sex, it's a huge part of Second Life. It is, just like in real life, Second Life is made from people, by people, to people. So sex, it's a natural thing amongst people, and it's a huge dimension, either free sex or business and the commerce and the money and the business part of it. It's massive. There's loads of resources, and we're going to talk about that. But it's a choice just like any other choice. Some people don't like going to clubs. Some people don't like sex in Second Life. Some people don't like art. Some people are in Second Life just to meet people, or just to role play, or just to sell, or just to do a business, or just to go to classes, or give classes, teach, and they don't care shit about sex, and they don't have to. So you can have years and years experience in Second Life, the most diverse ways possible, in the most diverse themes possible, and zero sex activity or wording or whatever. So it's a choice you make. If you're starting today and you got your avatar and you arrive in a place where you have the right people, they can meet you, friendly people, they take you to interesting places, you start right away experiencing a decent way of enjoying Second Life. But you can just land in the wrong place with the wrong people and right away starting being sexually harassed, either verbally or messaging or somehow physically, which is not a very most common way to happen, because there are not many resources for an avatar to attack right away, right there, another avatar. They can push people just like bumping, it's the most they can do. But voicing and insulting and messaging you, it can happen. You can be unlucky, and the first place you land, you get those kind of folks. It happens. But Second Life is a whole world, so it's not a 5 minutes, 1 week, or a 1 month experience that will teach you and let you know how you can enjoy Second Life with or without sex. This said, for people who enjoy sex, and when we talk about sex, we are not talking just about intercourse between avatars. We can be talking about enjoying a fine art gallery with nude pictures or erotic pictures, or even books or stories. There are stories, fictions in Second Life available. So, of course, Second Life being such a visual and such an interactive world, if you go in there, reading a story is not the most. You're not taking advantages of the best features of Second Life. You can do that in forums, but there is also Sex is something that it's mental first of all, and it can be performed or enjoyed alone or with other people or in group or with a partner, in many dimensions, not just physically. Okay, so there are many ways to find sex in Second Life. This said, if people somehow or they want to try or they are just curious or they enjoy the part of sex in Second Life and it fulfills their fantasies, their wishes, their pleasures, you have loads of resources available for people to have sex in many ways. I'm going to list those resources and also going to list the type of sexes and the ways we can or not engage into sex. So, resources. First of all, avatars. Avatars became very realistic, photorealistic, and it's not just that. Like parts of your body, the boobs are bouncing naturally, nipples, you touch nipples and they react, and male or female, you have squirting, you have all of that, you have genital organs, this and that, and interactive and touch and wider and thinner and reactions and all of that, so role play. So the avatar side of it, it's really very elaborate, very mature, very realistic, very appealing to the eye. Not just humans, you can have sex with dragons or monsters or aliens, so which is a plus compared with real life, that you cannot have sex with an alien in Second Life in real life, but you can in Second Life, or furries. But the avatar part, it's really very much developed, even body parts and interactions and to touch and stuff, or other type of interactions. So yes, that part is pretty much very much developed. Not available usually on regular avatars, the free ones that come with Second Life, but you can start preparing your avatar or even finding avatars which bots, and it's not expensive, all those extras that make the avatar sexual life realistic and appealing and diverse and creative and all that stuff. So yes, avatars. The other thing is gadgets and furnitures. We can classify for these types of resources from the most simple chairs and beds to office desks, library, bookshelves, any sort of place you can imagine, rugs, yoga mats, kitchen tables and kitchen appliances, and then more fantasy and complete gadgets like bondage, BDSM stuff, racks and crosses and torture tables and whatever, stretching tables and bondage, and so chivalry, fantasy stuff like magic or dragons or monsters or whatever, even size role play like giant avatars with tiny avatars. I'm not talking about age role play, I'm talking about size role play. Consensual adults, imagine King Kong, but the really naughty version of King Kong between humans, and it's a play of power, just like submissive or dom. All the types of fetishes, you can find gadgets for that with very complete animations, animated sequences, even with sounds and voices, menus you can choose, you can be doing sex however you want, in wherever you want, and have loads of menus and animations and sequences that you can role play, and like with a beginning, middle ground, and a top finishing stuff, and more like climax stuff, and with a sequence. So yes, loads of gadgets, interactive stuff. Sometimes there are simple gadgets like dildos or stuff like that. You can imagine the most simple whips, stuff like that. So it can be objects, cuffs. It can be objects, and it can be entire houses built for that. So yes, it's another resource very important. Another resource which sometimes people they have tried some stuff, adult beds and stuff like that, and they think, oh, this is all we have, these menus, these animations. But if, for example, if I am in a place without a gadget, without being engaging with an adult bed or a bondage rack or whatever object I'm using, a dance pole, if I'm not engaged, if I am with another avatar in a plain place, in any place, and I don't have those objects, I cannot interact with the avatar, like hug the avatar or kiss or undress or like choke or whatever you fancy, as long as it's adult and consensual. But there are HUDs, so you can go out of there. You can go out of the box, and instead of using objects and gadgets, you can be in a scene where there's only sand and beach and ocean, but you can be engaging in real wild creative stuff because of your HUDs, which is something that you get into your inventory, you use, and it pops on your viewer window, and you have buttons to select interactions, and it can be done between two people or more, or just one person alone. So yes, HUDs is also another dimension of ways, of more elaborate and free ways to engage into sex in Second Life. Then you have venues. So you don't need to be buying, well, for your avatar, maybe it's worth to create a reel if you enjoy sex and you want other people that are with you to enjoy it also. You want to be appealing, you want to invest something in your avatar, either appearance or clothes or some extras for your body, the minimum, or really something really wild. Personally, but you don't, if you enjoy other type of sex with gadgets, with objects, you don't have to go buying everything and building a house or a dungeon or just a normal house with a normal adult bed. You don't need land for that. You can go into places, which is another resource. Places, some of them free, some of them totally free just for the fun of sex, some of them free but counting on some tips, and some of them pure business, like you pay to use a dungeon, or you pay to use a hotel room, or you pay to, in a beach, the nude beach, you pay to have some special kind of interactive sex, so you don't have to be buying stuff to build and know how to build and know how to construct and recreate all your sexual place for your adventures. You can just use a venue that already offers that free or for some money for rental. So there are loads of resources that you just go, you pay the rental, you use it, and you don't have to buy shit. So that's another way to engage in sex into Second Life without having to learn how to build, how to set up stuff and all that. Just touching, using menus, and having fun. There are also ads. So ads is not the way you do sex, but ads is the way groups, special groups with rules and goals and ad boards where you can easily find people that are interested in the same thing you are. So it's for communication and for finding people. It's just like a dating tool, but for sex, okay? The ultimate goal is sex. And then it can be people who are into a certain fetish, like people into bondage or into furry or into sci-fi or aliens or whatever. It can be special ads, just normal, just like meeting adult people in a dating way, normal way, but with the ultimate goal for sex, and it's explicit, and you know what you are looking for, and people who are publicizing with that ad, they know what they are into. So it's clearly for sex. It's not just a regular dating where you meet people and go to dinner with them in Second Life. It's just a sexual adult ads for that. And you have the professionals, the escorts, the strippers, lap dancers, dancers, and even then you have several degrees. You can have an escort that will chat with you, interact with your avatar, with her avatar, or male escort, where women require the service of a fine-looking, talking and communicating male and performing male. And you are, and even then there are several levels. They just chat. They usually, when it's business, either it's a venue or it's a professional, an escort or whatever. Usually they have something in the profile to explain you what they do, what they don't do, their limits, or if they do this, they charge this. If it's more time, or if they go into that, they will charge more or less or whatever. So you have all the tools there. They have note cards, they have ad boards. So it's a resource, ad boards information. You touch the ad board and you get the person's profile and note card and even some pictures, extra pictures. Some of them you going to show you real life pictures. Other people separate totally, just like Second Life. Everything goes real life, zero shit. Even professionals and escorts. Some do cam, some do voicing. They charge more, but they will do voice with you. You are interacting with avatars, but you are talking to each other. So it's diverse and it's very complete and elaborate. Now, what other things important to talk about? I insist in the fact that although all these resources exist, and the good thing about all these resources is that paying or not paying, just for having fun, consensual adults, or business consensual adults, either way, the fact you are using Second Life makes all these resources makes it very easy and fast to indulge into sex in Second Life, in any level or any choice you have. So it's much easier than real life. Like you don't just finish your lunch in real life and you say, going down to a club and I'm gonna have sex at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna be having sex or a threesome or whatever. It can happen. Some people, it can happen. It's not impossible, but it's not the most common thing in real life, as you probably know. But in Second Life, yes, it's much easier and faster and cheaper or free to do it in Second Life. So yes, Second Life offers an easy, fast, non-complicated way. And also you don't need to expose yourself. You only expose the part of you want, your avatar. You can show or not information from your real life in your profile. You can just keep it Second Life. So all the tools are there for you to easily enjoy it and keep the level of your exposure as low or as high as you want. If people is doing webcam, well, they are exposing in a webcam. So the choices are there. But it's not ruling Second Life. Second Life is not about sex. It's just as a bigger part of Second Life as it is sports or live concerts or vehicles or universities and schools and conferences. Or clothes or stores or shopping or gardening or building, whatever. It's just a part of Second Life, like in real life. That's why it's called Second Life, because everything you find in real life and more, you find it in Second Life. Another very important aspect of Second Life sex is that since you are in a virtual world and there are so many tools and resources for creators, either objects or ways to communicate, there are so many possibilities that it can allow you to enjoy a certain fetish in a much more complete way than in real life. Some fetishes can be totally performed in real life. Imagine you have bondage or BDSM fetish. If you know the right people, if you go to the right places, if you trust people, you can engage into BDSM, softcore, middlecore, or hardcore, the level you want, in real life with people, and you'll get everything. Objects, places, interactions, whatever, real life. And that's a fetish that if you trust and you find the right people, you can take it as far as you want and you feel comfortable in real life. But there can be other fetishes, like having sex with aliens, that they are not possible in real life. And you can have a role play, somebody dresses an alien suit, but that's not the same thing. There are in real life no tentacles that are going to be alive and touch you and embrace you and all that stuff and raise you in the air and whatever you like with tentacles, either doing or being done by. But their fetish is not possible to reproduce in real life, but it's totally possible in Second Life. So, or just like having an orgy with 20 people, you can do it in real life. It's not easy, but you get my drift. So the creativeness and resources of Second Life allow to go out of the box and explore. For example, a fetish. I enjoy that fetish. I find it interesting. Actually, it looks like a weird fetish. No, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about nothing too crazy, but it's the size fetish. It's not age fetish. It's size fetish. Total adult consensual humans with total adult consensual humans, but she is a giantess and the guy is shrunk to like a doll size. Or he is a giant and the girl is a little, like King Kong. Imagine King Kong, but take him to, although I think King Kong has the first one and the second one, they have a lot of erotic charge, but they don't go much farther beyond that. The last one, the recent one, doesn't have a strong erotic charge. You can find it somehow in your mind when you watch it, but it's not there as strong as on the other ones, with Jessica Lange and with I'm forgetting the other diva, the first one. Oh, this is really bad. And okay, you got my drift. The very first King Kong. So 1936, I think. Imagine King Kong, but taking it like with humans and erotic play and stuff and undress the person and whatever you think of. So it's a fetish, and that fetish is completely impossible. You're not going to find people that are 7 inches, perfect proportional adult people with 7 inches size to play with in real life at all. You only can indulge in that fetish in movies, fiction, comics, videos, 3D videos, and fiction stories. But in Second Life, you can do really crazy stuff with giant monster avatars or human or giant and small and interactive stuff. And it's amazing. So Second Life can potentiate a very nice way to enjoy a fetish that you cannot get not even closer in real life. Other fetishes are perfectly performable in real life. So this is important because it offers a dimension that no other real life resource can offer, at least as impressive, as appealing, as immersive like Second Life does. There's a very important thing for people who has been for so long in Second Life and has a lot of experience and has been along for some years or at least 1 year in Second Life. Experienced users, they take their avatars. We take our avatars very seriously. People who is watching this and never tried Second Life may think, what a stupid thing, like having sex with the avatars. It's okay. It's up to you. I'm just trying to explain things here and why it works. Because you can also find stupid people spending rivers of real money dressing up their avatars, and they are not there for sex. People who is just in Second Life for live concerts, building their houses, living there, enjoying many adventures, and zero sex. But they spend rivers of money on their clothes. And you can find that stupid because people who haven't tried Second Life yet, they don't understand after a while, after you start making friends and having your presence and interacting in public in Second Life, how important it's your avatar. Not only the way you look and to others, but also the respect you demand others have for your presence as an avatar. So yes, when you are for a while in Second Life, the way you leave your avatar and the way you feel what your avatar is doing, or the relation, or the importance, or the dimension, and the impact it has in your personal, physical, or mental state. It's huge. Like, you may think, whatever, I do an avatar, I put it there, everybody can fuck my avatar. It's not like that. But if you make friends, if you have a social relation in your profile, and you're building a social network, and you are proud of what you spend and what you develop with your avatar, I'm pretty sure that the next time when you get to that level, you don't want your avatar to be there fucked by everyone. It's not. It's you there. So it's a bit difficult to explain, but maybe for another video, but this is really important. So I think it's important to mention this, because only when you get to that level of immersion and experience in Second Life, maybe then you can start understanding why your avatar having sex, it's almost, or it's very impactful on your physical and mental state while you are enjoying that sex. You're not just watching an avatar having sex, it's you there, somehow, somewhere, some way. So that's very important. It's just an alert. What else? Resources, easier and faster. Ways for people to engage into sex. You can be engaged into sex if you want. First of all, as I told you, you don't have to. So you can totally enjoy Second Life for years and years without even thinking or touching the sex subject, or going to sex places, or having to confront anyone about this subject. Okay. Of course, you will be getting messages, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to that part of messaging and proposals and weird shit. I'll go there. I'll go there afterwards. But first of all, how do people can enjoy sex? Well, you can do it privately with your partner, or your virtual wife or husband or partner, or gay or lesbian or hetero or whatever, or furry or alien or whatever role play, or you can be dragons having sex. And flying in mid-air, whatever you fancy. But it can be personal, like two people that just met in one place, or two people that met a long time ago and they develop, and somehow either they develop a friendship that got into more than that, or they'll develop and they were doing normal dating and they get into a point they are willing to engage in Second Life sex, normal or fetish or whatever you like. Or you can have people that you just go into a adult or sexual place already expecting that, and whoever is there, because the description of the place is very clear: urban city role play sex, free sex, everyone is free to have sex. Man, if you are in a place like that, you cannot find strange that people is trying to message you or touch you or whatever. But it also happens you are in normal places, attending a live concert in a place that even it's not an adult place, and you can be there and you can be having a normal situation. Nobody is expecting anyone to indulge in sex, and you can have stupid people trying to convince you to go and have sex with them. That happens also. I'm getting there. But what is important here, it's just a personal dimension. Like, two people, they decide to use those resources I told you about for having sex, and it's just between them, consensual adults, legal stuff within Second Life terms of service and legality, and all good. But there can be also a way for people to enjoy sex without developing a personal relationship with a partner or a boyfriend or whatever. Like, it's what we could call a one night stand, or a 15-minute stand, one quarter of our stand. Just like you go into places, you look for them, and you go into places, whole scenes or venues. They are themed, they are adults, and they explicitly say, this is wild sex here, you can go to our nude beach and expect everyone to have sex with you, or there are balls everywhere, role play sex every time, just pick a person and try to fuck them or whatever. Well, I'm just being a bit basic here, but it's explicit what you're going there afterwards. So everyone you know it's there. They may not like you. They may be completely horny about everything, about the place. They may not like you. They say, okay, this guy, oh, buddy, I know we are in a crazy place, but I'm gonna look for other ones. Okay, I don't fancy you. That's it. That's it. Okay, it can happen. But whoever is there is at least expecting to be approached and yes or no, and talk about that, and maybe engage right away, right there, without knowing where the person is from, what the person likes or don't like. You guys are just that there's a bed and you go into a bed or a chair or a lamppost with menus for sex or whatever. So you can indulge into it that way in communities or places or venues where you know you're going. Everyone is there for that, and you don't have to develop a relationship. Then you have the business side. So we're talking about free between two people, or a community but free role play, or a place for that. Then people choose yes or no, and they go, and it's free. But you can have a business, like a venue, which is a strip club, or just dancers, or strip, or escorts, or has some strippers and some escorts, or they are doing strip, but if you want, they do a lap dance, you pay a bit more, or escorts. It can be a place that it's almost free. They are expecting you to tip the dancers, and it's just common sense, and you will be prompt for that and reminded of that in the place, and you just gladly tip just a little bit to the dancers or to the general tip. And it's not just you have to pay this to do that. Enjoy the dances, enjoy the music, and remember to tip a little bit of the dancers, 50 linens to each dance, and you go and tip, and you like it visually, and you like the atmosphere, and you're speaking with the dancers, they speak with you, welcome, blah, 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 and they tease you and stuff like that. It can be something really innocent, or really like evolve to escort, or just plainful, a place where there's no dance, no strip. You go there to get escorts, and you rent a room and you have fun, a room or a dungeon or whatever you have there. So it's just pure and simple escort place. It can be tied to a venue or a whole sim, and they are workers there. There's a boss usually who's leading the business, and you go there for that. It can also be like slave auctions, stuff like that. Usually slave auctions is a bit deeper. It's like you bid with other people. It takes a long time, sometimes weeks, and you bid and you get a slave, and you can take the slave wherever you want and do whatever you want. We're talking big money here, but you can also have the sexual dimension of Second Life with independent workers, professionals, like strippers, dancers, escorts, whatever, and they are independent. They advertise in a club. Most clubs, they have ad boards where people advertise. You see their pictures and their marketing, their message. You touch, usually it's pictures about their avatars. You touch and you get her profile, a note card, and sometimes a landmark to her house or whatever. Then it's straightforward escort, and the note card says 15 minutes you pay this, half an hour you pay that. If just touching regular sex, it's this. But if you want to go farther away and do voice, you pay extra. Or I don't do voice, I do chatting and I do everything you want, but I don't do this, and I don't do voice, neither cam. Or I do all of these and you pay really big money if you want it, whatever. So the viewer, the regular, the viewers of Second Life, the software for viewing the viewers of Second Life, they have also a voice. They allow you to watch videos and direct streams, so it can get really intense, and it's not just avatars there playing around. You have voice, you're talking, and webcams and whatever. So it's also a dimension that exists in Second Life, mostly tied to business, but it's there. It's an option. And we're talking about a little bit more money. Always much less expensive than real life, but we're not talking about, if you want to do webcam or voice and stuff, you're not talking about $5. Maybe we're talking about $30 or $40 or whatever. In Second Life, it's a lot of money already. So that's just to give you a general idea. So yes, independent, the venues and the whole sims. It can be a whole sim for that, just for that, or it can be a venue, like it's an adult sim and some guy has a club and rented a small parcel and it's an escort club, whatever. It's just a venue, okay. But those places are easier to find in search. If it's independent workers, they will be using ad boards. Sometimes you can have places where all those adult ad boards are there, advertising escorts or other or clubs or strip clubs or private independent professionals, escorts, males, females, gay, lesbian, whatever, or fantasy. And it can be a place dedicated for that. But sometimes you can have an adult club that is just about dancing or a bit of stripping, or not even that, not just adult dancing. They never undress, but since they are an adult place and in an adult sim, they, for an extra income, they have some ad boards, a wall with some ad boards, and whoever wants to advertise there, and it's an adult place, and they allow escorts to advertise there. So you can be in a club and check some ad boards for escorts, or you can go into a place which is just about escorts, ad boards, and it's just that, and you find everything more complete in that. It's not just 5 or 6 ads, it's walls and walls filled with different escorts. Some do this, some do that, some are blonde, some are pansexual, some are futa, like girls with penis, lesbians, gays. Everything is there in Second Life because the resources make it so easy to equip your avatar however you want and do whatever you want. So what else can we talk about this? Okay, I think I gave you a pretty much a good picture of the possibilities and the ways people engage. But before I finish the video, I want to talk about some very important things. Forgot. Wait, before that, I forgot one of the most creative last trends in sex in Second Life, which is AFK sex. What the fuck? What the hell is AFK sex? AFK sex, it's exactly what it means, what the words means. It's you can have you can even have sex in Second Life with NPCs, which are just objects. They replicate a human or an animal or whatever, or an alien or a fantasy or a guy or a girl or whatever. But they are not people. There's not an avatar with people behind it. It's just an NPC, and they are as realistic, as interactive as you can incredibly imagine. Okay, you can either go into a venue or to a place and enjoy those NPCs, or pay to enjoy them, or you can buy one for you that can be it's like a pet. It's attached to your avatar, but when people look at you and the girl, or you and the boy, your avatar companion, they look exactly like just another avatar. They walk along beside you. You can dress them and strip them and choose their clothes. You can be in a public place with them. You can take them there because they are attached to you, but they behave just like an avatar. They just don't have they can have a name, but they don't have a profile as a normal avatar. When people touch it, it's an object. But they are lively, as photorealistic as you can imagine, and they have animations, and they totally interact with you. Then you can be in a public place with them. Like if it's a normal public place, you can dance with them, sit with them, hug them, kiss them, normal stuff, just like embrace them and be there, having a proper behavior in a normal place or a live concerts. Or you can take those NPCs to more crazy places or empty places or adult places, and those NPCs have the adult options of menus and crazy stuff you can do and dress them and whatever, and they are massively photorealistic, and they have incredibly lively animations and options and all of that, and it can be really fulfilling if that's what you want. You don't have patience to interact with anyone. Escorts or free or whatever, you don't have patience for that. You want a real nice looking interactive NPC to do whatever you want to do with it. It's just like sex robots, but very perfect and very immersive because you are in Second Life. And that's possible. And the AFK is different. The AFK is real people. There are places or systems or furnitures where people go there and they live. Usually, the sex workers of an AFK place, they invest escorts also, but we are not talking about escorts now. They invest a lot in a very good adult avatar with body parts. Some of them, they even have pieces of clothes that you can touch and little by little undress pieces of clothes and dress back, those options. But the avatar is logged into a sofa or a bed, or is logged into a room with several furnitures, and you touch the avatar and you can choose if you're gonna play with him or her in the bed, or change back to the shower and change back to one, and the avatar is not having any initiative. It's totally AFK. The person who puts their avatar there is just there collecting the tips. It works with tips. But what is the advantage? You might think, crazy world, man. Why wouldn't people prefer an escort, like somebody lively that talks back to them and communicates? Because the AFK avatars, they don't do anything. They do lots of crazy things because they are attached to menus and furnitures, and you play them as you want, and you can be kissing them for 10 minutes and then just like screwing them for 1 second or whatever. It's up to you. You can go back to other menus and do whatever you want to do with them for a given time and for a tip. All automated. They have a tip jar there, and if you go with them and don't pay, you are automatically, after 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you are ejected and you have to pay. Well, the reason why people use AFK avatars for sex, it's two main reasons that I can think of. The first one, sometimes you just want to have fun, total freedom to do whatever you want to do with that avatar, and whatever that system and menus and animations allow you to. There are many choices, and there are themed places, like one place is the campus, where you find the teachers and the university students, old people, university, and you find the librarian, those stereotypes you find in a campus. Sometimes it's just a brothel, like a very elegant brothel place where you find. Sometimes it can even be themed like epoch, like I don't get the word. It's just like medieval, or it's just like one of those Versailles kind of places, eyes wide shut, whatever. So it can be themed. You can choose a theme and be, or just Conan the Barbarian style of place you find the AFK sex, whatever. Urban with prostitutes in lampposts. There's no limits. So AFK sex. The two great advantages, first of all, it's totally affordable, completely cheap. Like, you want to go with 30 minutes with an escort, you pay 5,000 lindens minimum. If you want something special or extra or voice or whatever, you can go to 20,000 lindens or even more very easily. If you are 15 minutes or 30 minutes with an AFK sex avatar, it's 100 lindens tip. Some of them it's 15 minutes, 50 lindens. And if you are enjoying, I like it, I'm going to stay a little bit more, 50 lindens more 15 minutes or whatever. But the avatar doesn't do anything, and you cannot expect that avatar to have a life of its own. It is possible, and I know it happens, that the avatar that is there working for you, AFK sex, there's no one behind. Well, there is a person behind that avatar, but the person is not there having initiative with their avatar. Their avatar is just to be used by you. And one of the advantages is really cheap, and you can go to one of those places and try 10 different avatars, and you spend 500 lindens, and you try 10 or even less. And the other advantage is you don't have to talk with them. I want you to go here, play escort for me, voice with me, and now I want you to sit, now take your clothes, and wait for the answer, and you don't have to be engaging with a person. It's a lazy way of having sex in Second Life. If you find it appealing, it's totally lazy, like the avatar is there at your service, you touch, use the menus, dress and dress. Some of them have loads of options and crazy situations you can create, but it's on your terms. You don't have to be engaged. You don't have patience to talk, to ask stuff. You just do it with the system, with the menus, and you spend whatever time you want to spend. You can just you You can leave you can be just kissing the avatar and spend 10 minutes having a wonderful pleasure just watching your avatar kiss the girl, and you don't have to even touch and do anything else. So it's your time, your timing, your way, totally, okay? Just do not expect, of course, in an AFK sex system, do not expect people to be sending you messages, teasing you, answering back. You can ask them for friendship, some of them may accept or not. But it's not supposed to be any initiative from them. So that's why it's so affordable. So the advantages are those. No, you don't have to be proactive. You just consume whatever you want to consume, and it's really, really affordable. And that's why many people engage into AFK sex. This said, just two more things before we finish, very important ones. First of all, either if we are talking about free sex, like two consensual adults that somehow met, or you went to one of those places where people just one night stand or one 15-minute stand, either it's a free thing, okay, or either it is a paid thing like an escort or a strip club or whatever it is. You have to respect other people's preferences and other people's limits, okay? Either it's free sex, consensual between people that meet in Second Life, or if it is business. Usually business, if it's business, you have a board, you have rules, the avatar, if it's an ad board, you have the note card, and pretty much everyone who is into the sex business, they will have many ways there for you to know what they do, what they don't do, how far they go, how far they don't go. I chat, but I don't do voice. Do with me what you want, but do not expect me to tell you where I am from or show you real life pictures. So people have their limits. Many people like to separate very much, either free sex or paid sex. They like to separate their Second Life from their real life completely. You won't even see a picture from them. Others can send you pictures, you exchange pictures and do webcam and do voicing, and it's a whole other level, which is more expensive, of course, but people usually, when it's business, you quickly can know their limits, their rules, what they do's and their don'ts very easily. If it's someone you meet in a place, it's a bit more difficult, just for like an orgy place or one of those free sex places. Or if it's someone you met and you develop a friendship and later on you go into sex, just like crazy friends or like colored friends, or there's a name for that. In Portugal, it's colored friendship, or if you are into a serious relationship and you are doing sex with your partner, it's also important for you to ask them or check their profile or somehow ask them what they like, what they don't like, how far they will go, how far they will not go, just like in real life. So that's very important. It's not because you are in a virtual world that the other person has to go everywhere or as far as you want them to go, okay? And be very aware that some people, they will tell you zero, and if you insist, they will rightfully feel mad about you and even block you or avoid you completely, because they will want to give you zero shit about their real life. Even the country where they are from, they don't even want you to know that, okay? One thing is Second Life, another thing is real life. Which in a way, it can be good because I know if people is totally hidden behind their avatar and total anonymity, and all you get in their profile is just things about Second Life, and there's nothing about real life. I know it can be limiting, and you can be very suspicious. Is this a girl pretending to be a boy? Is this a boy pretending to be a girl? Total anonymity, okay. Some escorts or professionals, they have verified, they can show you only once a video, or they are verified somehow, which sometimes can be also somehow faked. Well, it's the internet. Virtual worlds have all these advantages I told you, and anonymity can be a disadvantage, but it can also be every coin has two sides. The fact people are enjoying almost total or partial or total full anonymity, that means that that crazy guy or that crazy girl who's gonna get really crazy with you and show you a wild world of sex, maybe in real life they are not like that. They are very reserved, they are very shy, but since they are totally protected by anonymity, they will open up their wildest crazy fantasies to you. So that's an advantage, okay? I think you understand my point. So that's it. It allows anonymity also has the good part of it, which allows you to be more relaxed and you have nothing to show or expose, and let's get really crazy or creative, okay? When I mean crazy or wild, it doesn't have to be more hardcore, just more creative, more different, more out of the box, okay? You can even have a lesbian or an homosexual or other type that in their real life they do not assume they are lesbian or homosexual, but in second life they totally assume it because they are totally hidden behind the avatar, and they let it go and let it loose, and you are enjoying their spirit and their free spirit as a lesbian or an homosexual gay, and otherwise you wouldn't get that from them in real life because they don't give that a huge important step or coming out of the closet, as we usually say. So another important thing, just before we finished, which is really important, is take your time to know people's profile, ask them questions, be aware of their limits, be aware of how far they can go into real life. Don't get me wrong, many people is totally okay with sharing their real life stuff. They will give you their Facebook link, they will give you photos and videos or whatever, voice with you. You just have to know if they want it or not and respect that. So be aware of what the other person is there for, because everybody has the right to expose less or more as long as they are straightforward with you. But the other thing which is very important is don't be too much tolerant with the crazy proposals and messages and harassment. Don't be totally tolerant, but also don't be totally intolerant. Like, this happens a lot. Many of the things I told you, many people can find it strange. Like, why the hell would I go into AFK sex? What's the fun of being there with an avatar? Okay, yeah, it belongs to a person, somebody created it, or it's not an NPC, but what's the fun of that? And what was I going to say? Sometimes many people don't find it fun, but others find. I don't think we should avoid that, but sometimes with age, with maturity in life, we have an empiric experience from life, either from real life experience or even in second life, if we are there for long, we have an empiric experience of what is good, what is not good, what we like, what we don't like, what we avoid, and that life experience translates into some knowledge, and we can all agree with loads of exceptions. There are, attention, you may be listening to this and you are not at all as I said, okay? You are totally the exception, and I'm pretty sure you have examples for anything and everything, and there are loads of exceptions. But generally, the tendency is women need something extra to feel excited, aroused, and engage in sex, real life or second life. They must find the guy somehow attractive. It can be visually, or it can be like the smell. It can be the voice or the presence of the guy or the attitude. But women are a bit more difficult just to see a nice guy or visually nice guy and have fun sex with them. Usually females, they need a bit more of engagement or empathy or some teasing or some seduction or somehow the idea that you send the first thing you do with an avatar that you just met, or even in a real life in the internet, the first thing you're gonna do with that girl is to send them a picture of you without shirt. Boy, it can work 1% of the time, but it's not the best way to use as the first contact. Like, a guy gets a picture from a girl without shirt, and the guy will be very happy. He can even masturbate for that. So, like, just this made my day. I masturbated and had an orgasm just because I got this picture, just a picture. A girl is not as easy as that. Like, usually it works. It can work really wrong. Like, what the fuck is this guy? I don't know. This guy is sending me a picture without shirt, like naked torso, or even your dick, your cock picture. The first thing you do is send it that. Women don't work like that. Some do. Exceptions everywhere, and some women may not work like that. But for some reason, that day or that moment, or the way you did it, or the way your cock looks, somehow it excited them. It can happen, of course, everything is possible, but it usually doesn't work like that. So women are a bit more difficult to arouse just visually, just because there are some nice pictures of guys. They like it, they enjoy it, but they are not in the mood right away. Men are much easier to please just visually. A man can look at the girl, video or pictures, or even in real life, be watching discreetly a girl acting in a group of friends, and he can say, this girl, she's so stupid, so superficial. I could not be friends with this girl, but I love to fuck her right away, right now, in the bathroom of this bar. So men are a bit like that, like a bit consumists, and even visually, like a guy is very. So that's why sometimes maybe it won't make much sense for a girl, with the due exceptions. I told you, exceptions every time. But maybe it doesn't make as much sense for a girl to go into an AFK venue and have sex with a nice-looking guy, and it makes more sense for a guy to do it. But because it's different, okay? Males, we don't need so much empathy, teasing, arousing. We don't need so much. We appreciate that, of course, also, but we don't need that to give the sex step, or either it is intercourse or even just masturbation. Men are happy with very little. So yeah, that's it, very little, as long as it's visually appealing. So many things will not make sense for women, but make sense for men, and due exceptions, of course, always that. So yeah, be a bit tolerant, because giving this set, sometimes you are in a place where and you are a female. It can happen to males also, but female, it happens more with females because of this. Because just like male are very easy to please, and they are already hiding behind an avatar, total anonymity, and it's a virtual world where the roof is not gonna fall in your head and the cops are not gonna come and get you. It's much more tempting to men to be inappropriate with a female avatar they just saw there, they didn't even met, than happening the other way. It happens also, of course, but it's more frequent. So what I want to appeal is, you may be a lady and be in a place like in a sim that it's not even adult or whatever, and you are in a store choosing. You're not even buying bras in a store, okay? Let's not make it sexual at all. You're buying houses. You are in a store buying houses, okay? And your avatar is not even wearing mini skirt. It's just like a normal casual clothing avatar. You can a guy can show there and start sending you inappropriate messages trying to get you laid. It happens, and it's stupid. It's stupid. You don't have to put up with it. Just be taking into account this that I told you, that for male it's a bit more tempting to indulge visually, like right away, without having any empathy or meeting the person, and being in a virtual world, it can be, if a guy sends you an appropriate message, if it's not too rude or completely stupid or dumb, give him a second chance, but be honest, okay? The last thing you're gonna do, and this also works for males that are harassed by females or gays or lesbians or whatever, it also works for everyone. On one side, people shouldn't be much tolerant. Like if somebody sends you an appropriate message, even if it is in a sex place where people are supposed to have free sex, of course you should have extra tolerance there because everyone is there for that. It's a public place for orgies and sex, easy sex, so you're not going to be mad because somebody invites you to have sex right away, because you are in a place where people are supposed to do that. But even then you can say, okay, thank you so much, I feel flattered, but I'm looking for other type of person, don't take me wrong, right now I just arrived, I want to have a look around, and maybe later, blah, blah, blah. So you have to be honest. The worst thing you can do, either in a sex sim or a total normal sim where you're doing normal things and you have an appropriate message, the last thing you should do is circling around with conversations around that and trying to get away from the subject. Like, what do you mean exactly? Where do you know me from? It's a clear and appropriate stupid message. You tell them, look, I'm not here for that. Thank you so much. I'm new here, or sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not here for that. I'm pretty sure you'll understand. Thank you so much. Let's follow each one our way. And maybe you find the guy after all was just trying and he's a nice guy, will be polite, and maybe you even made a friend somehow. But if after your second chance, in second life, second chance, if after that second chance and you're being a bit tolerant, because male we are always a bit crazy about that. I always separate things, but some people just can hold it. If the guy or the girl insists and is stupid and is playing dumb, then fucking ban them away, block them, mute them. You have all the tools in the world in Second Life to ban people, eject people from your land. If it's in a public place, you can ask the owner to eject the guy. If somebody's being stupid in a public place, the owner himself will notice that and eject him right away. So, but you can always mute people, block people. You will never get messages from them. They will never know if you are online or not. They cannot communicate with you at all, so it's very easy to avoid people in Second Life. If they insist or they're playing dumb, then go right away and tell them to fuck themselves. But be a bit tolerant in the beginning, okay? But be honest, okay? Don't go around like, what do you mean? No. You notice what he wants or she wants, and she is being inappropriate, and be honest about it. Be frontal. Sorry, but I don't, and I know you understand. Okay, I prefer, and I'm looking just meet people, not into that, and second chance in Second Life. Well, long video as always, but I always tell you, this world is so diverse that it's impossible to get such a complete theme like this and do it in 10 minutes. But never forget this. You can spend years in Second Life, years, visiting, using it every day, regularly every day. You log in, meeting new people, discovering new places, exploring, engaging into classes, into sports, into live concerts. You can you can start your business, and you can stay away from sex and have zero sex, okay? These kinds of stalking or whatever happens every time. You can mute people, but you don't have to deal with the sexual part of Second Life to enjoy Second Life at all. It's an important part, just like other big important parts are in a world that mimics a real world in every aspect and more. I hope this video helped. I hope these videos I do help new people to demystify and understand what Second Life really is and really it's not. But somehow I also hope that even people that never try sex, they go and they really try this crazy stuff. No, yeah, it's a bit about that. No, but what I really mean is maybe some people that never thought about the sexual dimension of Second Life, and they have been using Second Life for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. I have been around for 15 years. Maybe some people are older than me in Second Life. I hope somehow I help them get a more complete picture of what's going on around the sex themes and sex options, and somehow they discover a new way to look into things, or things they never heard about and they never thought about, and they may want to try it and they completely hate it, or they discover something new and they like it. So I hope I also help that open up a little bit the horizons, and somehow make you more comfortable and have a more complete presence with or without sex in Second Life. So if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to help my channel develop, please like it and subscribe if you want more diverse content like this. Okay, so thank you so much, and see you there next